We begin by lighting our candle to remember God's light is with us wherever we are. Filled with the Holy Spirit, Jesus went out among the people to give them new life and new hope, to heal the sick, to bring good news to the poor, to raise the dead to new life. Listen, he told them, God is like a shepherd looking for a lost sheep. God is like a father waiting for his child to come home. God is like a woman looking for a lost coin. God's love is always enough and more than enough. Jesus chose disciples, his friends and helpers, to share his life and his work. One day, Jesus and his disciples were coming out of the temple in Jerusalem. One of his disciples looked around at the temple and at the great city around them and said, "Look, what large stones, what large buildings, what an amazing city and what an amazing temple." And Jesus said, "Do you see these large stones and these large buildings and this large city? Truly I tell you, the time is coming when not one stone of these buildings will be left on another." Jesus' disciples were confused and wondered about what he had said. Of course they knew that as time passes, sometimes buildings fall down or are ruined or destroyed. Is that what Jesus was talking about? That nothing lasts forever? Was he talking maybe about God's kingdom? Maybe a new kingdom that would come in, a new heaven and a new earth. So the things that are on this earth wouldn't exist anymore because God would make them new. Or was he talking about something bad that was about to happen? They didn't know and they were confused and upset. Later on, Jesus and his disciples were on the Mount of Olives outside of Jerusalem. And some of them spoke to him privately and said, "When you said that the temple would be torn down, that not one stone would remain, what did you mean? And tell us, when is this going to happen? How will we know that the time is coming?" And Jesus said, "Many will come and tell you that they speak for me, but they don't always. The time will come when nations will rise up against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. All of this must happen for God's plan to be fulfilled." And the disciples wondered even more about what he meant and what was coming and what was going to happen and how God's kingdom would be made real. And now we are going to wonder as well. And if you want to pause the video to wonder with the people that you're with, you can do that. I wonder what your favorite part of this story was. I wonder what the most important part of this story was. I wonder how the disciples felt when they heard Jesus say those things. I wonder what Jesus meant. I wonder which part of this story is for you. I wonder what you think God's kingdom is like. I wonder if there's anything we can do to help make the world more like God. God's kingdom. I wonder if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas about this story. I wonder if there's anything in your house that you would like to use to make something or play with this story. And we can keep wondering throughout the week. But for now, our story is finished.